So we'll just give it a few more moments before we get started. We have Teresa who's joining us. Lots of people today. That's really great.
And it would be nice if they put their videos on.
Yeah, it'll be lovely actually if you can put your videos on so we can see your wonderful faces. I just found out from Dr. Odette this morning that purple, in fact, is the color for dementia. So nice that you told me that, Dr. Odette. So it's nice to see you in purple as well. We have Annie, who's also joining us from Goa. So lovely to see you. Dr. Dipali has joined us as well from Bangalore. So I think we are all from all over, which is great.
Hello, hello. Good evening,
Hi.
good evening, everybody.
Lovely to meet you again.
Yes, Nilufer, hi. I can't see you.
Hi, Odette. Audio's
Glad
off
you
now.
have joined us. Yes.
She's saying hi to me.
You can put your video on, Nilufer. Say hello, and then later on put the speaker off.
Okay.
Oh, so nice. We also have Sabrina, who's just joined us. Such a wonderful turnout. So nice to see all of you. It's actually our first, if I might say, serious event, although I'm sure Dr. Odette has a knack in making even the serious things really fun and exciting and interesting to hear. But all the events that we've had so far, movie screenings and game evenings and online parties. So I'm actually really looking forward to this one. It has been something we've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. And I'm really, really happy to be bringing this to you today. So yeah, we have Sandra joining us. What we can do is maybe till everyone comes in, we have another 2 minutes and then we can begin. So I just wanted to very quickly introduce the Circle of Grey. So because I'm seeing so many new people and new faces, which is really lovely. So the Circle of Grey was started by myself and a few of my very, very close friends. Dr. Dipali is right here. She's one of my co-founders. She's in Bangalore. And also Sophia, Lakshmi, and my mum. And as well as Oline, who's come in. I think Oline is also here. So the Circle of Grey was started by us mainly to be able to bring, a lot of excitement, interaction, socialization, a space for all of you, a really special space where you could make friends, you could meet lots of like-minded people, and you could continue to socialize and have heaps of fun despite having to, socially distance. So along the way, we now have grown to have a lot of activities, not just on the Facebook group, but we meet up regularly for events like this on Zoom. So again, for all those who have just come in, I would ask you, if you're not on the Facebook group, to kindly go into chat. I have put the link of our group there, and if you click on it, you can join us.
I'm just watching a program on
So having said that, I'm just going to mute everyone for the moment.
No,
9:30 should be there because she's going to doctor's appointment she has in Panjim at Manipal with her father-in-law or something.
Just one moment. I'm just going to mute everyone so we can unmute as when we come into the Q&A. All right. So without further ado, just want to welcome all of you. A very, very warm welcome to the Circle of Grey and to today's talk, Understanding Dementia. Dipali, Dr. Dipali, who is based in Bangalore, is the one who really handles our physical and mental health on Circle of Grey, and we have her here, and she will come in to introduce our most special and wonderful Dr. Odette, who is one of our amigos on Circle of Grey, a very enthusiastic, fun-loving, active amigo. So we are very, very honored today to have her do this for us. And yeah, Dr. Deepali, take it away. Oh, sorry, before that, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Maria, Maria Menezes, and I'm based in Dubai. And yes, a quick hi to all of you, and over to you, Deepali.
Hopefully my internet connection is going to stay stable throughout this. And it's lovely to be here, and it's really great that Dr. Odetta is doing this little thing for us. And so I'm going to give you a brief introduction on her. So she's an occupational therapist with a special interest in mental health and adult neurology, ergonomics. And today she'll be sharing her skill set with all of us. She is an avid traveler. She loves reading, music, and dancing. We hope to see her dancing one day with us on a program, something like this, or maybe slightly different. And yeah, let's get into it. We're all waiting for her to get started. Thank you for having us. Thank you for coming here, Dr. Odette. And we're just waiting to
Thank
hear
you for having me. Yes, thank you. And hi to so many people. I can see familiar faces and names, but yes, it is always nice to see the face when you're having a talk like this. So let's start. Shall we go ahead, or do you need to wait for a while?
No. I think we can go ahead and start. We've got a wonderful group, all eagerly awaiting. If I can just quickly say, if you do have a pen and paper that you want to keep by your side, if there are notes you want to take, please feel free. But I will be sharing this entire presentation on our group. So for anyone who's missed it or wants to re-watch it, it will be available. So having said that, thank you again, Dr. Odette, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria and the Circle of Grey, for giving me this chance and opportunity to be able to speak to my fellow amigos. The Circle of Grey has been such a wonderful endeavor as of now, and we've all been part of it and happily enjoyed everything. So today, a little bit of seriousness if possible, and let's see.
If I can just ask everyone to mute themselves, and I think when the Q&A starts, you can unmute if you have a question.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
It says here screen sharing is paused. That's why I'm a little surprised. Is it there? Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it. Maybe you can put it on slideshow.
Now? Okay. Oh, it's not on slideshow?
Oh, sorry, it's gone off.
No, I put it off here.
Ah, okay, sure. Yeah, I can see it now, and I can see you're clicking on slideshow.
Okay.
But it's not yet come on slideshow, so.
No, it's getting paused. Just a minute. Huh? I'll just sort it out. Yeah, I'll sort it out. Yeah.
No problem. Take your time. Technology always does this to us, keeps us on our toes.
Yes. And if it doesn't do it, how will we learn?
Absolutely.
These are some of the challenges that give us the opportunity to learn. Okay, so today we are doing understanding dementia in a very simple manner. And yes, I am an OT and a consultant OT, and I am currently at the Palliative Care Center in Bombay. Major part of my adult life, I have been with a public hospital in Bombay. It seems to be getting out, so just let me share it in another way, and then we'll see how it goes.
Sure.
Okay. So since
yes,
it's still getting, yeah, it's fine.
It quit again. It quit again. Yep. I don't know why that's happening.
Now?
Yeah, I can see your slides. Maybe don't put it in a presentation.
No, as soon as I go into the presentation mode, it's going into it's stopping to share.
Yeah. Do you want me to try sharing?
Hang on. That's the last time, and then you can try.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. No, again, it's maybe you can.
Okay, let me share it then. And you can indicate to me when you need me
Yes.
to.
Okay, the color hasn't come on yours, but never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay, so that's okay. The color hasn't come on it, but like Maria said, purple is the color of dementia. And so most of the slides were in purple, and we are both wearing purple. And I think some of them are wearing it too. So since we are not familiar, some of you all may not be familiar with what is OT, then we will go into the first slide to explain to you all what is OT. The next slide. Yes. You can click twice and keep. So as you see, occupational therapy is one of the core team members of the mental health professionals. We deal with the physical and the mental health of the adults and children. This is all in the rehabilitation. For children, we deal with them right from the time they are in the neonatal ICU to when they grow up and having learning disability or cerebral palsy, autism, hyperactivity. For the adults, yes, everything from knee replacements to fractures to strokes, Parkinson's, all the physical neurological conditions, burns. These are all some of the conditions that we see. Keep clicking. In the mental health, you will see that we deal with acute mental illness, that is schizophrenia, anxiety, depression. Today, we'll be talking about dementia, but we deal with acute as well as chronic conditions of mental health. Our USP is that we are trained to make hand splints, adaptive devices. If you're not able to do something, we can make adaptations within the home. You are trained in dealing with your activities of daily living. That's ADL, the basic ones such as eating, drinking, grooming, and your instrumental ADL. That's how you travel or handle money or the phone. Ergonomics is basically matching man to machine. So how you sit, stand, table, chair, everything there. And architectural barriers. So as you see, OT is pretty vast and extensive in its area of treatment. Next, please. Okay, this is our adage in which we say, when you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And as an OT, we create a good tutorial like what we are doing today, so that he can teach himself how to fish. And why is that? Click. Next. Is basically make him independent. So he is independent in functions. So he becomes functionally independent. And all this is to give you, enhance your skills for the basic job of living. So it is giving you skills for the job of living. Next, please. Okay, so what is dementia? It's gone a little light here, but never mind. So as you can see in this picture, dementia has something to do with the brain. Now, the brain is made up of many parts. These parts are called lobes. Our brains are not this colored, but color coded like this. But yes, they are called lobes. So this is the frontal lobe. Each of these lobes have their own job. So in the frontal lobe, you have your thinking, behavior, memory. The parietal lobe has language. Temporal lobe has hearing and learning. Cerebellum has your balance. And of course, the brainstem has your breathing. So each of them have a varied function to perform. So if anything gets disturbed in this function, in the brain, those functions get disturbed. So you can see in this also, we have memories and problem solving.
Sorry.
I'll tell you when to turn. So you have memories, problem solving, creativity, all this is our brain. Our brain is quite something, you know, it's able to do so much more. So when you have a group of these symptoms, thinking, social means behavior, and all these symptoms which interfere with your daily functioning, that gets termed as dementia. In the next slide, we will see some more functions of the brain, the cognitive functions. Change, please. Next, please. Click. So yes, so all this that we are all familiar with, eating, thinking, speaking, understanding, planning, is also a cognitive function of the brain. You'll hear the word cognitive often in today's talk. Next, please. So dementia, a word that everybody is familiar with, is a term which is used like a general term, like it's an umbrella term for various types of cognitive impairment. When there's a disturbance in your cognition, the word used is dementia. Alzheimer's is a type of dementia which we're all familiar with. Each of them have a different cause. So they have got a different terminology or a different name: vascular, Lewy body, frontotemporal. But in all of this, the cognitive skills are affected. And what are these skills? These are the core skills of your brain, you know, to think and remember and reason, etc. Next, please. So you have types of dementia which are irreversible. They cannot be treated fully. And there are some which are reversible because their causes are different. In Alzheimer's, it's because of something, the plaques. Vascular is because of blood flow. But you have reversible causes of dementia, which may be just a vitamin deficiency or an underactive thyroid, or you could have had an injury to the brain or alcohol abuse or some disease with a tumor. So these, if you treat the causes, that kind of dementia gets reversed. Next, please. Hearing loss. You know, hearing loss is some kind of a handicap that we cannot see. So it's mostly invisible. You can't really see it as a handicap, but it is a handicap. And why is that so? Because we cannot understand when somebody cannot hear. And when people with untreated hearing loss, they tend to develop cognitive decline earlier. Because why? You talk to them, they're not hearing what you're saying. You get fed up talking and repeating the same thing. So after a point in time, they are not part of a conversation, which is their general with everybody. And they lose out on that kind of an input. So they kind of go into a shell. And then your cognition, which is because you're interactive with people, gets affected. So they have research shown that hearing loss is also one. Untreated hearing loss can lead to dementia. Next, please. Digital dementia, something new on the scene. And that is all of us need to be worried about, because this is a cognitive decline due to excessive use of digital devices. Nowadays, we don't do a mental math of saying 2 + 4 + 10 + 8. We go straight to to our calculator or the phone calculator and type in there. We don't remember people's telephone numbers because it's just there on your phone by their name. We don't remember people's birthdays because why? Facebook just pops it out. We don't even make an attempt to remember. We put reminders on our phone. So what is happening? You're slowly erasing functions of that part of the brain. And why? Because we are overuse utilization of technology. We as seniors also need to be a little careful because we are all the time sometimes listening to stories and music on a phone and, you know, and not focusing. And so our brain is becoming like this, quite fuzzy. Next, please. So as an OT, what do we do? When we are, when we see.
I just want to ask everyone to please mute if you've just come in. If you can just mute so that we can hear Dr. Udait clearly. Thank you.
So when we as an OT see anybody, we look at them in totality. In this, that's mind, body, and spirit. So when we are treating anybody, it's always these three aspects that we keep in mind. And our approach is is related to this trilogy of sorts. So we have a preventive approach, which is basically maintaining and preventing decline. We have an accommodative approach, which is a compensatory. You don't have something, we help you with compensatory strategies. And the restorative, when you have reached a certain point, you will get maximum function for your rehab techniques. So today I will be just focusing on the preventive approach, how you can maintain yourself and prevent a decline. And maybe if you all are interested, or there is somebody, we can take a second part of this talk on the accommodative approach if you all have somebody who has dementia, or you are a caregiver, and what you can help with them. So let's go into the next slide with the preventive approach. We'll do mind, body, and spirit at one, individually. We don't work without a focus, and our philosophy, the core philosophy related to older people is occupation is fundamental to health and well-being. First thing that you ask anybody usually is, what do you do? And once you're after an age and you've retired, and you feel sad for yourself by saying, now I'm retired, I don't do anything. But at some point you were holding a high position in an office, and you felt good about yourself, and then suddenly there is a decline to it. People they want to engage in occupations to find a purpose, because they want to take control of and manage their own lives. So basically they want to be valued. So you need occupation for yourself, irrespective of whether you're doing voluntary work or whether you're working with your, at home, or whatever you're doing, you need to be doing something. Next, please. Okay, so now we'll start with the preventive aspect where the body is concerned. We all are worried about what color is our hair and how many wrinkles we have on our face. But what we need to be worried about is our legs or our feet, because aging starts there. Once you stop walking and you stop moving, automatically you are restricted to the home, you're restricted in your outdoor activities, and then the decline starts. If your legs are strong and active, you will have fall prevention. Even if you do have a fall, you will not have fractures. Fractures will keep you in bed, will keep you at home, and by and large, you will be isolating yourself from society. We must take care of our posture and our back. As we age, we tend to develop what we call as a dowager's back here, a dowager's hump. Then your back is paining and your neck is paining. Ergonomics is how you're dealing with yourself in the kitchen, in the home. You get an idea of what is happening with your body, and less, involvement of misuse of the back and pain. Next, please. Next, yeah. So the next part is the mind, which is our cognition, the memory. Keep clicking, Maria, click, yeah. So as we have said, hearing loss leads to isolation. When you are isolated because you're not a part of a conversation that is going on or whatever, you get late light depression. All this, what do you need to do? You need to be active, keep learning, keep stimulating yourselves, connect with one another, take notice of what is happening. Next, please. How do you do that? Socialize with people your age, people younger than you. You learn so much from them. Stimulate your brain, learn new technology. This is also from Circle of Gray. How to stay 10 ways to stay socially active, socially happy, but from a distance. Keep some me time, sit down with your legs up, have your cup of coffee, enjoy your music. But you need all this to stimulate your cognition. Next, please. Technology. Technology is a boon, and all of us need to be familiar with technology. Why? Because if you're alone, we have a lot of apps which can help you as a senior. You can sit at home and work them on the phone. You can have fun with your friends, sharing stuff and sharing stories. See how this lady is so engrossed in her phone. So technology is of importance. We must need to learn. Okay, next, click again. This year, the UN has the theme, is digital equality for all. Okay, looking at your spirits, dance, excellent, because you can also exercise and move your legs and meet people. Of course, have prayers, look at your hobbies, enjoy them. Holidays, cooking, this storytelling, there are little ones who are losing out on their grandparents not being around. But if you have children in the vicinity, in the building, once a week, you can sit and read a story to them. Read it from a book. It will also encourage them to think and, to be creative and come up with stories of their own. It helps both ways for you and for the young ones. Next, please. Okay, now just stop sharing, please. Happy hormones. Stop sharing, Maria, please.
Is that fine? It stopped sharing?
No, just stop sharing. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to do a little test. You know how they have, what is that? Unit test. How many of you all remember what the happy hormones were? We had spoken on the happy hormones, and if you know, either you unmute and say or put it in the chat. Or I want to see everybody's faces, no cheating.
I'll unpin you as well so we can see everyone. I think everyone can unmute now.
Yes. Give us the answers to which are the happy hormones. Noreen, you know them? You're mute. Noreen, you're mute.
Yeah, I haven't been attending regularly, so I'm not
So you have to
with...
say three Hail Marys for all of us. Okay, Anita Gracious has given us one answer. Yes, Anita, what is this hormone? You are muted, Anita. You're on mute. You've written the name of the hormone.
There's dopamine and oxytocin, which are the happiness hormones. Like dopamine brings you happiness, oxytocin. I'm a volunteer at a home where we rehabilitate people with mental disorders. I'm in Bangalore, and I'm a volunteer at the Medico Pastoral Association.
Oh, great. Anybody else knows the other hormones?
Endorphins.
Who were there last year?
Endorphins.
Endorphin, yes, but how do you hack them? The endorphin, how do you hack it? How do you use it? How do you make it work for you?
Contact, physical contact, hugging someone, petting a cat.
That is not endorphin.
That
is oxytocin. Yes, exercise. Yes, Donald, exercising.
Laughing and listening to music.
Perfect, full marks.
And the last one is serotonin. So that is the sun exposure, mindfulness, and nature.
Are you copying or looking, cheating? You're not showing your video on, so we don't know where you're reading, what you're reading.
You can see me?
No, we can't see you. You must be reading
that's
from a book.
cheating.
I know, that's called cheating. Okay, now you tell us.
So I have 120 people who I look after, so I know exactly what's their moods. So basically,
otherwise I thought you were cheating.
No, basically I give it to a lot of people.
That's okay, even if you're cheating, it's fine as long as everybody knows. Sheldon is not answering, he was not there last time. Okay, can we go ahead? Most of them.
Yeah, I'm sitting quietly, Dr. Odette, I'm sitting quietly. Yeah.
Okay, sit quietly.
For a change, that is, yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Sheldon.
Okay, so we have the happy hormones, which is serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and the endorphin. Endorphin is after exercise. Oxytocin was the love hormone, it still is the love hormone. And dopamine is like, yay, you feel good when you've achieved something. So now Donald is feeling very good because he got the first prize. And serotonin is, yes, the mood stabilizer. Okay, the next one, next slide, please, Maria. So it's okay even if you forgot because it's all part of life and you were there and you didn't pay attention. So like this young boy says, maybe your SD card needs to be changed. Next, please. So how do you recognize? Yes, there are changes in cognition, which is memory is something that all of us are familiar with, but there are other issues also. And there are personality or behavioral changes. Next, please. So you may see it in yourself, you may see it in somebody. So what do you look out for, Basically, there is confusion. They're unsure. They're disoriented, which is not normally them. You know, they lose direction when they're going to some place. They forget where they are and like, where am I? So there's a lot of perplexity and unclearness when you see them. And you will realize this is not them. When it is somebody known to you, you will realize like she was never like this before, or he was never like this before. Next one, please. So familiar tasks, what they were doing, they have trouble doing it. They have trouble in speaking or writing. Confusion, like where they are. Where am I? Am I in your place, my place? Am I in wherever, Bandra? Am I, this depends. They're not sure where they are. There would be changes in the mood. There would be memory loss, will be short term. Means I tell you something now and within a few minutes you have forgotten. But sometimes we don't pay attention. So we will do memory separately and show. Maria, 2 more clicks, please. So the first thing in this is acceptance. It's not easy to accept that I could be having a cognitive decline, or the family, because like I said, it's in the elderly, and you may have been a big person and like your child is suddenly, your daughter or son is telling you, hey, you have to go for a test, you are forgetting, you're this, that. It's difficult, this acceptance part, so there's a lot of counseling that is required for the family and for the person. Why? Because it's not a bad thing, to have. And but if you catch it early, there is something that can really be done about it. Next, please. So prevention as in catch it early. There are warning signs, and if you see these warning signs, it is better to get attended to. As I'm showing here, this purple ribbon is what what stands for dementia. And how do you do this prevention? Like you have talks like what we are doing today, you have screening camps. So people who are confused about it and don't understand what is it, do I have a problem? Am I going crazy? Have I forgotten something? It can be checked. Next, please. Next, please. Okay, so what happens in a screening camp? Okay, you're checked. You can go to a hospital or doctor who treats you. You can be trained, given a mild when you're in the early stages. And when you receive training of cognitive rehabilitation or retraining, it is possible to delay the progress, of this illness. And if the family knows how to deal with you, you know how to deal with yourself in the initial stages, it is so helpful for everybody. Next, please. Next, please. So there is normal aging forgetfulness and not normal aging forgetfulness. And by more often than not, the normal one is because we've got 10 things on our minds and, you're not really focusing on what you're doing. And that is why you forget to even pay attention to the things at hand. Next, please. Okay, so there's so much of cognition going on in the brain, and what we need to do is stimulate ourselves. How do we do all this? When you stimulate yourself with learning, attention, trying to remember something, listening, visual, automatically the cogwheels move in the brain, and that helps all the connections that go on in our brain. Otherwise, if we are passively sitting in front of the TV, not really paying attention to what is going on there, if you're watching a murder mystery, yes, but otherwise it can be quite a passive in for you to be in front of the television. So then you don't get cognitive stimulation, which you need to. Next, please. So what do you need to do? First, you have to do saaf safai of the brain. Take off all those cobwebs and dust them out. Clean your brain, nourish it with good food and activity and whatever, all these activities that we have given you. Challenge it. Learn new things. No problem if you make mistakes. Who's there to correct you? You can always say, I'm old, so I make mistakes. But never mind, challenge your brain. Do all these creative. We've done it all our lives, all our hobbies. We never really did it at our age. We've all done creative interventions earlier, but do it. Do brain training. Reduce your stress. Physical activity on the topmost. And be open to experience. Don't say, no, no, Baba, I don't know this. I never knew this. I will not try this. No, no, no. Challenge yourself. Do it within your limitations. Next, please. Okay, just a little bit on memory, because everybody is worried about their memory. It is a retention of whatever information you get. And this information could be something that is talking, your experiences, or whatever skills, even like learning your cycle, it's there, how to ride a cycle or swim or whatever procedures you all cook without even knowing anything. Like, you don't have to refer to your book on something. You've made that recipe n number of times. So it's a skill which is there in your memory. Next, please. So how do you get all this information? You get it from these senses, the 5 senses: hearing, sight, smell, touch, and taste. So when you're getting old and the hearing goes down, your vision goes down, your taste, all these get diminished as you're aging. So that information that goes in also gets a little diminished. So we have to realize that all this is information coming into our heads for memory. Next, please. So this is the information that comes in, but we need to be attentive to it. This is a very important. Think of a kid in the school. If the teacher is talking and he's not paying attention, that information has gone into this memory of his and he has forgotten, because there is no attention, or there is broken attention. So if there is broken attention, it will go into your memory also in a broken way. And how will it go into your memory? You need to be reading it again, retrieval, rehearse. Anything we do, there has to be a rehearsal. So important things to keep in mind is attention, paying attention when somebody is telling you something. Repeat it, especially names. We'll say, oh, Nilofer, meet Noreen. And then you've forgotten, oh my God, all I remember, they were both in N. But when introducing also, we have to be careful to say Nilofer is like from my school. Meet Noreen is from my dancing class. Or, so you have something to give as a cue for the person to remember. And then when you are leaving that person, Nilofer will say, bye, Noreen, nice meeting you. Or Noreen will say, yes, Nilofer, nice meeting you. So then it gets into your long-term memory because you have repeated it twice then. And that is how memory takes place. So attention is most important. Next slide, please. Okay, now you finished with unit test. Now we're going to have first term exam. Are you ready? I can see all the smiles. So just keep an eye on everybody's cameras have to be on. Oh. Okay, you can show that slide, Maria, for say 10 seconds. The next slide.
Okay. And I think everyone can unmute now, right?
No, let them just see it for 10 seconds.
Okay.
And then click again and you'll get the slide after that, which is the timer.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Are you all ready? At least show me a thumbs up so I know that you all are ready. Very good, Fatima. She's eating, but she's ready. Okay, next slide, please. Oh, the animation is not showing. Never mind. Never mind. Let it be. Okay, now stop share. Stop sharing, please. Okay, now who is going to answer those 3 words that were written there?
Great.
If you can
House great fan clock.
House
Great.
Fan.
And clock.
Clock was on the next slide. Anybody else? Everybody agrees? Galaxy A52? Galaxy A52 is scratching his head.
Malcolm, that's you.
I know. He's thinking whether to go to, give the excuse in the office or what? Or is he at home? You're in the office? My God, what nice decoration in your office. Anybody else remember? Fatima,
I
did you
think
remember? Do
Antoinette
you
has
remember
raised her
Antoinette?
hand.
Yes, Antoinette. Yes, Antoinette. What are the words?
You have to unmute yourself, Antoinette. Antoinette, if you can unmute yourself and answer.
Okay, never mind. Anybody else?
How many words are there? 3, no?
Yeah.
Ah,
Grey pants.
yes. This was
House
a
grey
very
pants
simple
and on the
test.
next one
Next
there's
time.
House grey and pant.
Grey?
Yeah, house grey.
House grey and pant, she said.
Grape
Yeah.
grey? House grey pants.
Grape,
I thought
grape.
it was grey.
House
Sorry,
grey
sorry,
pants.
Sorry.
Okay.
And clock.
Okay, you can
And clock
share
on
the
the next
next
one.
2 slides now. That is the end of
I
the...
didn't pay attention, that means.
Ah.
Okay, can I click on this?
Yeah, click it. It should have come on its own, but never mind. That was the timer. So it's okay. You can share the next slide.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, even this animation is not coming through. Yay. Very good, everybody. Clap hands for yourself. I hope now by this time, your brain has all got exercise. Your cognition is working through the full of its abilities. I can see because my brain is sweating it out over here. So, yes, thank you to the Circle of Grey. And thank you to everybody for patient listening.
You're most welcome. We're so happy you're here. And I think now, Dr. Odette, would you be open to taking questions if anyone has?
Sure.
So how we'll do it is
You can stop sharing first and then we'll see everybody.
And if everyone, do you know how to, if you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see something called reactions. And if you click on that, you can raise your hand. It has a little icon saying raise your hand. If you are unable to find it, then you can just put your video and raise your hand traditionally. That's absolutely fine. So you can either put that emoticon or you can raise your hand if you have a question. So
it's better if they have their videos on and then, just raise their hand.
Nicer if you can have your video on.
Yes.
But if not, you can reaction. So yes, so anyone who would like to ask the first question?
Don't give me difficult questions, huh? Otherwise I may fail in the exam.
I'd like to ask you a question, Doctor.
Yes, Lyra.
I'm very busy the whole day. I keep busy. I'm alone. So I keep busy. And I exercise also, looking at YouTube and all that, or at march and all that something. I do that. It means from morning, 7, a little bit of praying time is there. And after that, the whole day, I don't sleep in the afternoons. I go to sleep at about 10. But in the night, I get a pain on my whole body. Like I keep getting pains all over. I don't know, is that something to do with this?
No. What pain? Where is the pain?
Leg pains, my legs pain, my waist pains.
Maybe just go to your doctor and check up. You need, maybe you need some hydration, drink a proper water or some vitamin or something like that. And just go there. Go and get yourself checked,
Okay.
It has nothing to do with your memory. Don't worry.
I was wondering whether it's osteoporosis then.
Don't wonder. Just go and get it checked.
Okay.
We have, this list of diagnoses. Yeah, it could be. I'm not saying it couldn't be. It could be. So what I'm saying, just go and get yourself checked and looked up and, then we know what we are dealing with.
The funny thing is the whole night it keeps paining. And the daytime I'm very active. No
maybe you're overactive and then your whole body is saying, hey, take it easy.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. So you just get yourself, just get an overall checkup and, then you can see it.
What sort of a doctor? What sort of a doctor should I go
You must
to?
be having a general practitioner, no, whom you go to.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
ask it because they are the best. They know
Yes.
you as a person. They know how
Yes.
you are. You've over the period of time and all that. So they are the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, doctor. Thank you.
What
Oh,
did Dr.
welcome.
Audit?
Yes, tell me. You remembered me? My gosh, so
I
nice.
told her go to Dr. Audit. She will take care.
Oh, you told. Thanks for the reference.
I get a free checkup.
Free checkup. Okay. Gosh, I have to make you my secretary now.
I will.
Anything else?
Yeah. Do we have anyone else with a question?
I think you should give us your address, doctor. When
Where
come
are
to
you
Bombay,
based? Where are you based, Lyra?
in Goa. I'm in Goa.
Okay.
I'm in
I
Goa,
am not in
Karnataka.
Goa.
I know you're in Bandra.
You are in
Bandra.
Bombay or in Goa?
I'm in Goa. I'm in
Huh.
Goa.
Okay.
You are
I am
in
not.
Bombay.
I am
I know
not in
that.
Goa.
I know that. But I
Arey,
could
you
always
know that?
Yes, I thought I heard something like that. Is it right that you're in Bandra?
No, I'm not in Bandra either.
But Bombay. But
I'm in
Bombay.
Bombay. This is
Okay,
like
Bombay.
guessing game and all my friends are laughing over there.
But I can always correspond and I come to Bombay sometimes. That's why I'm saying.
Okay. Right now, I thought you were in like, some space station. I can see some big outer space.
That's my grandson. He's taken my tab and done something. It's stuck there.
Maybe
It's stuck
that's
there.
maybe that's why there's pain in the night. Were you trying to fly to space? I mean, how did you travel?
This is my grandson is sending all these naughty things.
Good, yeah. Good. You will also learn.
Hi,
Okay. Any
Jyoti.
other questions? Any other questions?
I have a question. So,
Tell me.
as you age, you kind of do have memory problems any which ways, your memory kind of starts to deplete. You're unable to remember names, pretty much what you said earlier. Simple things like you walk into a room and then you forget why you went into that room, or you wanted to do something and then by the time you got to it, you forgot. So normal things like that. But then how do you know, or how do you recognize that this is not just normal, but it's getting to the more serious stage of, like you said, cognitive impairment? What is that point of recognition where I know, okay, this is not something that's just about getting older. This is something that needs attention and I need to take this seriously?
By and large, as we are aging, we are involved in too many things. So there's really not, we don't really focus, or we are not mindful of what we are doing. Yes, you are eating your lunch, but you're already thinking, what's going to happen at 4 o'clock? What's going to happen later? I have to go here. I have to do this. So then when you're not mindful of what you're doing at that particular time, you've entered the room to do something, but your mind, you've realized, what was I supposed to be doing here? So you have cues. Usually when you go down to the market or whatever, write down on paper. You keep a paper and pencil down. If yes, I have to do this, just write it down. Whenever you remember, write it down. So it's easier to get it off your head. Like, yes, these are the things. Or when I go down, I need to buy this. So just keep writing it down. How you make your provision list for the month or whatever, on a daily basis, make a little mental math in your head. I am going, so this is the way I need 5 things to pick up. So these are the 5 things and this is how I'm going and how I'll pick it up. So then you go, because invariably you meet somebody, you start chatting and you forget. So you need to have a route for yourself. When you start having memory losses or you have changes in cognition, it is usually somebody else who realizes it, not yourself.
That's a...
the doctors always say, like, if you are worried about your memory, means you're fine. It's when others are worried about your memory, then there is concern. One needs to be concerned. It's usually the person who has forgotten things, We'll say, what rubbish, you know? That is why acceptance takes longer. When, when you've realized that, yeah, I could be having it, And there are people who have insight, who are told about it by the doctors. So the family knows, so everything gets, handled beautifully in society. So that when you've gone out, say if you've gone for a wedding, and I'm a little disoriented, I'm the patient, I'm disoriented, but my sibling knows about it. So like they will say, hey, come on, I'm going to the toilet. You want to come along? So that I am not worried about going because I don't know where it is and I don't know how to find it. But I will say, yeah, come on. So I've gone with that person and come back comfortably. Nobody has realized that, I don't know how to go and come back on my own now, which I was doing earlier. So that is very important for the family and the caregivers to understand where it's coming from and how to manage them. Also for the person in charge. But that is why one needs to know, one needs to accept, and there is a lot of counseling. Some really don't accept it easily. And especially when the child is telling them things, and they say, nothing is wrong with me. Like, I am done it all my life. Now, who are you to tell me what to do things that way?
That's a very good tip. I mean, I think that really is very clear that you won't notice. It's somebody else who would notice. I think, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else who would like to ask a question?
Is dementia curable?
Depends on the cause. No, we said there are some causes which are reversible. Like, if you have a thyroid issue, whether you've had some sort of a vitamin imbalance, then those cognitive declines are reversible. Alcohol abuse sometimes depends that, if it's not damaged for so long, yes. But if you've gone into the plaque, that is Alzheimer's and Lewy bodies or Parkinson's and stuff like that, it's not reversible. But with science right now, you have medicines and cognitive therapy, which will delay the progress. So you're still functional in society for a better part of your life, and you're not just kept in the home at home. Maybe, Donald and I think Anita was talking that they had a lot of experience working with people in Bangalore. So if they'd like to share of something. I like your money plant, by the way.
There's no money, but
no money.
No money. No money.
He's forgotten that money plant means money.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead. Who is that?
Are there tests? What are the tests that you all have that help you all to determine?
I'm sorry, but I can't make out who is asking. Who is
Could
that?
you say your name?
Alita.
Anita?
Alita.
Alita. Yes. Yes, there are tests which are, which are cognitive tests. You have a mini mental status, which is very quick screening. Then you have the Montreal, what we do as O-Team, the Montreal Cognitive Assessment. You have a lot of psychological testing, which tests cognition in detail. So it's how you fare on that. Yes, sure.
Sure. Which vitamin
Sorry,
causes,
who is this? 1 minute.
Sorry, my name is Sophia.
Okay. Hi, Sophia.
Hi. So, doctor, is there any vitamin deficiency that causes dementia? And
there could be. Sometimes they have these electrolyte imbalance. Sometimes when you're not eating properly and all, and then you are behaving, differently. So that is why I said you need to get checked. And then once you take the history and see that, yes, this is the reason, then they give them some sort of intravenous electrolytes and stuff, and then they are fine. But so the testing is of importance, the history taking as to from when, how, when has the family noticed it. Those kind of...
I believe vitamin D is also a major factor. So that can be easily achieved by walking and getting in regular sunlight.
Of course, like sunlight. And that is what has happened in this lockdown. People have not really gone out of their homes. So, and they're isolated. So their society-wise, they've not mixed with people. There was so much of fear, so much of stress. So there have been a lot of mental health issues and a decline, very strong decline, very rapid decline with the elderly who were on their own at home. Because if they had not yet learned how to handle technology, then keeping in touch with the people overseas and all was very difficult, and because we were not even going to your neighbor's house and stuff. So that is why once you learn technology, at least you are in touch with people, put your videos on, we see your face, we are happy that we see what is there, what is going on, and yeah, so technology is a boon. So, and we need to know, and even if you're alone, they have a lot of these apps now that you can download for help for anything, and they will.
Thank you.
I
Most
have one
welcome.
more question.
Yes,
So
Maria.
if you do suspect, whether for yourself or for someone who you're looking after or living with, and you do suspect that there is some cognitive decline, who do you need to see? What kind of doctor do you need to see?
You can either see a neurologist who's dealing with adult, or you can see a psychiatrist. Both of them, there are some, in either field, there are some who are specialized in dementia care. So they will do the testing, they will refer for the testing, and it can be taken up from there.
Okay, great. Anyone else with a question that you'd like to ask?
At what age usually you get dementia?
It's usually in the later stages, but nowadays you're seeing them even in the 60s. But you are only 25, so you have a long way to go.
Thank you so much. Doctor, thank
Most
you.
welcome. Others I can't say because they're not putting their cameras on. So I mean.
Yeah, and I think Malcolm follows the whole. He definitely has heaps and heaps of happy hormones.
Yeah.
With his singing.
Thank you, Donald. For you want to
Doctor,
give us something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Doctor, usually we get a lot of people on the street who, we suspect at times are having mind issues. Now, we have come across 1 or 2 patients with this dementia. But when we take them to the IPHB, they don't exactly tell us that this patient is dementia or.
No, they could be having some other mental illness, no?
Yeah,
because
correct,
there are a lot of mental illnesses which have a cognitive decline.
Correct. So basically, is there any facility besides IPHB in
Where
Goa?
are you based, Donald?
Goa.
Where are you
Sangolda.
based?
Sangolda.
You're in Goa. Okay, you're in Goa, but is he still here or has he left? He looks like he's left. Sheldon has left. There is Dr. Amit Dias.
He's on. I know. I'm in touch with him. Is he online?
No, they have their program on, so they must have left now. He's on that. There is what they call Magic Mondays from a group in Goa.
Yes.
So yeah, so he is there, and Dr. Amit Dias is also connected with the Dementia Society of Goa. So he would be able to guide you as to who is.
He came over to one of our shelter homes because we were planning a facility of free rehabilitation for people, for men who can't be taken care in their homes, or we wanted his advice. And
oh, lovely.
Yeah, we were thinking of having a facility for Parkinson and this dementia free of cost, because we're already having so many people in the shelter homes, but we were not sure, like, how we'll take care of it, or how will it run, the doctor, there'll be any menu.
Your caregivers will need to be really trained. The helpers in the home.
Who's going to train them? That's the point.
So what you can do is either you contact Dr. Amit, or in Goa Medical, there is an occupational therapy school, a college there. So they definitely have people there. If you want, I can put you in touch with them.
Yeah,
and
because there is no free facility in Goa for poor people who are suffering from dementia. That's the focus, what we are focusing on. So we asked him, he told me this is almost now 3 weeks now. We are in touch. He's my good friend. He's my classmate. He came and saw the place, but after that, we have not reached anywhere. So we just wanted to know if there's any facility, online facility, because most of our caregivers are from the street themselves. They are not professional caregivers. Because
That's
why
okay.
the
That's
facility-
okay. They just need to be trained. Yeah.
Yeah. So besides him, there's anybody else who we can bring in to train, or is there any facility like that?
Like I said, no, in GMC there is the occupational therapy college there. So since you're there, it's better to get somebody local.
Okay.
I will. Maria, do you have Donald's contact number?
No, I was actually just going to ask Donald, if you can just, if you go to the chat, I have put our WhatsApp group link there. And if you can just click on it, so you can be part of the group and I can get in touch with you later. I can put you in touch with Dr. Odette as well. Yeah, okay, great. You've given me your numbers. So I
sent you my number.
Sure to add you. Yes.
So we are looking to help people with dementia who cannot be looked after at home, free of cost. It's only men for the moment. We can take in 8 people, 8 dementia, 8 Parkinson. Okay, we have plenty of good caregiver men, but they are not trained. And we think that there will be people who may be, looking for 15 days, 20 days, 1 month just to keep their parent. It's not something, which people may be wanting to live with permanently. They just want a break or go out.
Correct.
So
Correct.
we don't mind providing this free service if they cannot afford it, provided we get somebody who will, help us to look after them, because it's not one.
No. You just need somebody to help to train the trainers.
Yes.
To train the helpers. Yeah. There are some of them who work in this field. So I will just get in touch with them and I'll find out if they have anybody in Goa. Otherwise, Dignity has a lot in Bombay, I know. But there are others also. So I will just get in touch with them. And if there is somebody in Goa, then, I'll put you in touch with them.
Thank you so much.
Oh, most welcome. Great work, but.
Yeah, great work. Thank you so much, Dr. Odette. I just want to take a moment, before we conclude, just to tell everyone that in the chat, I have put the link to our group to join the Circle of Grey. Like Dr. Odette said, our primary goal is to keep everyone very positively engaged, whether it is with physical activities, whether it's with mental activities, also to just keep those endorphins and those happy hormones going. So, with you making new friends, learning new things, sharing your experiences, talking to others, playing games, even games that relate to memory and building on that. So we would really love to have you on the group. We have something or the other for everyone every single day. But of course, you don't have to engage or feel any pressure to participate every day. You can look through what we do and, engage in what interests you. I also want to tell you, Dr. Odette, that your talk was so inspiring, and I think we're going to work on a few activities based on the tips you gave us. How you can boost your memory, how you can play certain games that kind of gets your brain active and revitalized, brain training apps that you can use to kind of develop your brain. So I do want to tell you that we're going to work on the back end on based on all the inputs you've given us, and we are going to share all of that at regular periods on the Facebook group, which is the Circle of Grey. So please again do join us. We are actually just about at 4:30 an hour. I will take one more question before we end, but before I just very quickly remind you to please use the chat. There is the link for Circle of Grey. If you're not familiar with how to go to the chat, then you can just go onto Facebook and look for Circle of Grey in the search section. So yeah, just want to thank you once again for opening our eyes, Dr. Odette. It was so informative and you made it so simple for us to understand. We really appreciate you coming on, and we hope this is the first of many. I do ask all of you to put your mics on, and if you'd like to share your thanks as well, please feel free to. But we enjoyed that very much. And like I said, we're going to take everything that you said very seriously and work to do something fabulous here.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Most welcome. Thank you.
You know your subject so well. You made it so simple for those of us who were keen on knowing about dementia.
Oh, thank you.
Many psychiatrists, when they have conducted sessions, they have thrown around a whole lot of jargon, like, high-flying jargon. I've listened to talks from doctors from NIMHANS, and they use all this profound terminology, which we lay people don't understand. And then it goes, over our head. You understand your topic so well. You made it so simple that for those of us who wanted to know, we learned.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Happy to help. Sorry about the slideshow. It was just not functioning from this end. So, of course, Maria is always there.
And I took screenshots. I took
Oh, you did?
screenshots of every screenshot.
Oh, that's
my God, that was
screenshots on my
cheating.
phone of every screenshot. and I was listening and I was watching the plants. Yeah, so talk
Wow,
about
multitasking.
I was
Excellent,
watching the
Anita.
plants. I was listening, taking screenshots. Yeah.
You were taking screenshots of the plants.
The subject is very dear to my heart.
Anita, were you taking screenshots
No, of your
Malcolm's
screenshots.
plants?
Yeah.
Were you taking screenshots
Yes,
of
I got
Malcolm's plants?
screenshots of all of them. No, Malcolm's plants, Malcolm.
Of Malcolm.
Malcolm.
You do know, no, that is all recorded over here.
He's a poster boy now
Okay.
for
We
all
were
the-
just having fun.
for the next event.
We just, you know what? Yeah, we are just happy. Yeah, we are happy.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. We have,
Life is so short that just
It
let's
is.
enjoy ourselves.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Maria, for organizing today's
Thank you.
session, and thank you,
Yes.
Odette, for a wonderful session. Yeah.
Thank you so
Odette.
much. Thank
Most
you.
welcome. We hope to see all of you for our next couple of events. We're going to have a wonderful actually a play, an online play, where you can participate and you can be one of the actors. Maybe it'll be a musical. So we're in the back end working on this. It's going to be very, very exciting. And I hope all of you join. We're also going to have games that are going to come in, which will probably be centered around the theme of memory. So stay tuned for that. And of course, we have...
You have to tell us the prizes, Maria. Otherwise, nobody will be motivated.
No, we will be having prizes. We will be having prizes. So you will know about that too. And of course, we have our absolutely lovely Oline, who will be reading.
Maria, you can tell them about the prizes because they won't remember.
Smarty. We are all ears now.
Yeah. So Oline, that was actually Oline who just came in there. So she has the most calming, lovely voice, and she will be reading out stories to you all as well. We're going to have audiobooks coming in soon. So yes, do stay tuned. We are very, very happy to have all of you. And like I said, don't leave without either putting your number on the chat or taking our number down so that we can be in touch and you won't miss out on anything else that we're doing. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you,
Maria.
everybody. Yes.
Thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot, Dr. Odette.
Thank you, doctor.
Thanks.
For the,
Thank you very
Most
much for a very
welcome.
informative
Nice to see you,
talk.
Noreen. All well,
Thank
no?
you, Odette.
Now I'll remember never to forget anything.
Ah, nice one. Lovely.
Good one.
Good one. And this video
Yeah.
will be put up on the Facebook group. So you will be able to access all those slides in case you are you forgot to take screenshots.
Informative.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Maria,
Bye.
for
Have a lovely
organizing
evening,
this.
everybody.
Bye.
Malcolm
Thank
can go
you.
back to work.
Bye.
I'm
Bye,
at work.
Nilofer. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Maria. Thanks a lot for
Bye.
everything
Bye,
you
everyone.
did.
Thanks, Maria. Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye,
Thanks.
Oli.
Thank
Bye,
Yeah.
bye,
Bye.
bye, Anita. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you again.